Hey everyone, welcome to our third lady talk. I'm here with my good friend Hyla. Hey.
Hi.
And we're talking real talk. We're talking about babies. We're talking about moms to be. We're talking about all of it. And we're glad that you're here with us. So today's actually a unique talk because Hyla and I have agreed to focus our third chat on like the support system. So that could be your birthing partner, could be a friend, could be your husband, it could be
Your
mama, could be a lover, could be a stranger.
Who knows?
No, probably shouldn't be a stranger.
No. Should be someone that you trust.
Yeah. Genius. What would you do without us? So yeah, we're focusing on just the support system today, gems of support as you enter the delivery room.
So make some popcorn, sit down with your support partner.
Pour yourself a drink, non-alcoholic. And no, but actually, all joking aside, Hyla's right. This would be a great video to get your partner to watch with you. Somehow, some way.
Even if you have to trick them.
With our charm.
With your wiles.
They're like, really? I have to watch this. Okay, sorry, focusing in. So, Hyla, I was curious if you don't mind sharing what, if anything, you and Chris have done in terms of kind of formal training, birthing classes, anything like that. What have you guys done thus far?
We've done a birthing class at the hospital where I'll be delivering, and it was taught by a doula. So I think she actually had a lot of good advice for things that, whoever's there with you at the hospital can help you do to not only just reminding you to breathe and breathing patterns and stuff to sort of distract your mind, but also physical things that someone could put their hands on you and help you physically relax, like massage and hip compression. If you were doing sort of a on all fours birth position or even pushing position or something to push those hips together to take a little bit of pressure off of the lower back. And applying heat packs or cold packs, whatever feels like it's going to make you feel better at the time.
So the doula is different from the midwife, different from the medical nurse, in that it's their sole purpose to, like you say, first of all, educate you and your birthing partner, or if they are the birthing partner in some scenarios, then they are there for not just physical support, but also mental and emotional support. They're
there to comfort you.
Their sole job is to make sure that you feel supported and comfortable. And I think that's why I've always had a fascination with the doula too, because I think that a lot of, at least in the United States, a lot of birthing situations, think about, wasn't that long ago that the husband, or the lover wasn't allowed in the...
Right, it was all women.
Yeah. And in some cases, only two, then the next phase of that was only the husband was allowed. So if you weren't married or, your lover wasn't a
SOL.
man. Yeah, you were SOL. That's crazy talk. That is so crazy. So yay that we've progressed, but also, there's still a lot of room there. So even though, you're not you don't have to be at home birth with a doula. Not everyone can afford that. There are volunteer doulas. I think we can take that same essence and the idea of a doula into any situation. And I think that especially for your partner, that's a great thing, great resource for him. What was Chris's experience?
No, I think he liked it, and I think she made a point that labor is painful. You're gonna be in pain, and whoever's there watching you do this, that loves you and cares about you, it's nice for them to have something to do to feel useful. So they're not just sitting around watching you suffer and being I don't know what to do. I guess I'll eat a granola bar.
Yeah.
And
they love you so much that it is about
if you see a friend in pain, you want to do something to help. But I think we're not really taught culturally what to do, because we don't see it happen every day. I've never seen a baby be born.
Yeah.
I've held like one newborn baby in my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah, so whoever you have decided, if you haven't decided yet, that's okay, and it'll come, and but kind of from the get-go, learning these things together, I feel like, is the gem here, is so that they have the tools to participate and to support you with or without a doula. So, like, what are some things that we have learned so far?
Rubbing the back, like just if you can get whatever you can get a hold of, like depending on what position she's in while she's giving birth. I mean, you might just be able to like rub an arm or something, but it's like, not only might it be comforting, but it would also be maybe just be a distraction, like something else to think about besides like my body is splitting open at the seams.
This book that we've been looking at together, one of my favorite books that I got, I actually got this because I was headed into a doula training, and then I was like cast in a movie, typical Adrian, and you know, put the doula training off. But and I was joking about it earlier, but I love this, like they call it the breaking of the popsicle massage, and you can do that in any. But it's just like you know those frozen popsicles, like you're just kind of like
where you break it in half.
It's gentle and it's slow. It's not. We're not talking like. Yeah, and it's just like moving, it's just movement, it's just stimulating, and you can do that anywhere. So I like what you said, what the doula said about just kind of grabbing whatever you can get a hold of. And you know, we're artists, we come from a, for lack of better words, pretty connected background where it's not weird to grab your friend's hand, and, or you know, but like everyone's different, and a lot of
that's another
partners
thing.
might not even. I mean, obviously, hopefully they feel comfortable touching you. That's why you have them in the room with you for your.
Probably why you're in this situation to begin with.
But you know, like, I don't think that it's safe to assume that they would, you know how to use their hands on all body parts, even if they're your lover or not. You know.
Right.
So breaking the popsicle is a nice little.
Yeah,
thing
it's gentle and
it's gentle and it's sweet, and you can do it. You know, you can do it anywhere.
Oh yeah, even just. Oh yeah, temples.
So soft, small, little things.
That was another thing she said, was that a big part of the support, the birthing partner's job is to really just to pay attention to the woman in labor and notice like whenever there's a really strong contraction, she might start hyperventilating or she might start holding her breath. And both of those things shouldn't happen. So like remind her like, hey, get on this rhythm, breathe. Or slow down. Sort of just trying to be as in tune as possible so that you can almost predict what she might want. Mm-hmm. And also to be prepared for her to say, dude, get off of me. I need space. You're just stop touching me.
Yeah, and I've read actually a lot about like, because in the doula training, you know, they're basically talking to the birth partner. What happens when you're told to, you know,
buzz off,
yeah. You know,
and we're like, what else?
And you're human, and you're human
right.
too. Like you're not forgot. You know, like you're still very much a part of this thing.
Yeah, I could see how it hurt your feelings for sure.
And it's like when you guys did your showers. Like I was like, yeah, there's a man shower going on. Like he deserves that too. Like I'm totally, you know, and obviously female power, but it's like the happier the family is, and the more everyone's supported, the more successful, beautiful this. Emerging is going to be. So being prepared for that buzz off moment. And we had talked about in another chat about whether, you know, closing the eyes, opening the eyes, and this isn't for everyone, but I also think that eye contact, you know, is obviously an easy way, you know, like if you're not,
easy thing to focus on.
You can't ask for what you need or what you want, you know, like just a nice way to read. And if eye contact is, you know, none, then that's fine too. But one thing that I was going to share on camera that I love, and I definitely want to inspire conversation with this project. I'm curious about books that other people are reading, but this has been my Bible. It's called The Birth Partner, A Complete Guide to Childbirth for Dads, Doulas, and All Other Labor Companions. And I'm totally okay with promoting this book. In fact, I'd love to do it on camera and definitely in this chat because that's what we're chatting about. But it's awesome, and it talks about this thing called the 3 R's, which, you know, I come from teaching background too, so it's like, oh, I can remember that 3 R's, you know.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah. It's like respect. It used to be respect yourselves, respect the space,
Respect others.
respect others, respect yourself, respect the space. That might be good too. Well, done. We're done. Relaxation, rhythm, and ritual as the 3 universal, essential, and this is of course to each his own, but just as I learned it, as kind of like the essential, universal things, like instinctual behaviors that women need, require, possess in this moment. So relaxation, which we've talked about a lot, like of course between contractions, allowing all the muscles to grow, allowing the muscles to grow limp, allowing the muscles to go limp in between contractions, and then when we can't do that anymore, using rocking, swaying, slow dancing. Something we were talking about earlier is like it can be as simple as, you know, just fingers moving or feet tapping in between contractions. But one way the birthing partner can help with that is to actually kind of use the power of touch to find relaxation in between the contractions. So like when that contraction's happening,
it's happening. Let it happen.
Let it happen, exactly. And like being present, and then in between, you know, I think it might be helpful for the birthing partner to realize that it's in between those contractions that we're going to want to find relaxation. Just saying relax to mom
is probably not going to help that much.
Yeah, so like, you know, you can craft that a little bit so that in between those contractions, when we're really, you know, like communicating or helping, to soften and relax, and
to consciously think about muscles that might be tense. And
rhythm, the second R, which we've talked about all through these chats, and is just like baller, I think, advice for anyone in labor is finding something,
a breathing rhythm. Well, and it can change too. Like you might sometimes feel like a deep, slow breathing is what you need to do, and then in the middle of like a really intense contraction, you might need to up your pace a little bit.
Yeah.
And do a different rhythm.
No, that's brilliant, and that's genius. That's a true support gem, because like the needs of your labor are going to be totally all over the place. They're going to be continuously changing.
Yeah.
So having the tools to, you know, change with them, but also just having I'm wary to say control all the time, because you don't want to be, you know, there's no way you're going to be in total control, but at least being present.
Well, it's like you can't control a lot of things, but you can control your breathing rhythm.
Yeah, and I think your partner can help you with that, either by counting the breaths in between contractions.
Or doing it with you, being on your same rhythm.
Embrace sound too, which you're like, oh God, but I think most women find that.
Well, that's like the
as a totally amazing tool, and very rhythmic, obviously. So the hee-hee-hoo, the ha-ha-ha, the shh, all those things, which we'll mention in the PDF too, but super helpful. And partner can do them with you as a way of reminding you. So, for instance, Chris is not going to be like, Hyla, remember the hee-hee-hoo breath, or Hyla, remember he's going to, you know, connect with you, and okay, let's try this. Shh.
And practice them together before you go.
And to like connect and do that together. I would say that's just as important as like your labor drill, your packing bag, like your packing list, like having those breath things. And then this might not be for everyone, but also, you know, I'd be remiss in mentioning just the chant, like particularly for the more serious yogis, or, you know, even modern yogis can get down with a little chant. It can be something like Om. It could be something like open. It can be an affirmation, like you mentioned your friend.
Yeah, this is temporary.
Yeah, might not be a bad idea to like, what's going to be our chant, you know?
Right.
And it might not be a good idea for you too.
Go team, go team.
You can do it. But the chant, just like the breath, has this lulling effect that can help with the relaxation and just family connection too. And then the last one is ritual, which is a little bit delicate to talk about, just because, you know, I don't really need to talk about people's religious backgrounds or anything, but we can connect to
Oh, I think ritual means so much more than
women.
just that.
Yeah, I think that some people get a little stuck on that though. But I think that remembering that this is a once in a lifetime ritual, you know, like this you and connection to this baby, like, and I think that's going to mean a little something different for everyone. So how you set up your ritual is kind of everything. And I think your birthing partner is where I'm going with this. It is definitely a part of that. It's not just the, you know, sister connect. It's a family ritual. The first major family ritual, perhaps.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the bigger spectrum of the ritual, but then also just finding little rituals that you can do, whether it's a repetitive walk up and down the hallway. There's this shower ritual, which is at the wall. And it's kind of like a half dog, but it's called shower stretch. You can do it in the shower too, but it's just palms at the wall, and you press the forearms into the wall and can allow the weight of the head to relax over as you breathe in and out. Great for just kind of calming the body and quelling anxiety. I think it's just maybe important for all women to put some thought into who's in the room. You know?
Yeah, although I've heard from a couple friends that have had kids that like you think that you know who you want in the room, but like once you're like in the heat of labor, you don't care. Like anyone could be in there, and it's just like, oh God, let's just get this baby out. Like that's all you're focused on.
I love that. Like you're really specific, like trying to follow the rules and make sure no Aunt Sally,
right, and then
no
like,
Brother Tom.
Yeah. That sounds creepy.
But
yeah, that once you're like really like in active like pushing stage, it's just like nothing else matters.
I love that. One thing too that the birthing partner can play with is essential oils, and in the PDF, I only mention it because in the PDF we're gonna do a little kind of like do's and don'ts of essential oils, but you know, it's just a little treat. But aromatherapy can be so helpful for mama and for the whole room, and especially in the hospital when you might have different people coming in and out. They might all be awesome people. It's not like they're just doing their job, but you know, you might not have the same person there. They can't be in there the whole time.
If you're in a long labor, yeah.
So anything to kind of make the room yours and to, again, give your partner something to work with. Yeah.
Make yourself useful.
Yeah. So we have some ideas for positions and movement for labor and birth to do with a partner. I think we might include that on the PDF, but have you learned anything before we wrap this up in your birthing class just about things that you can do with a partner? I mean, we have partner prenatal yoga things too, but
we talked about one where you sort of stand up and then like lean forward on the bed, and you know, you could stack some pillows or something for a little taller support just to take some pressure off of your lower back, and then your partner can come behind you and rub your back, or just sort of to get you through like the contractions, like before the actual pushing starts. And then you can do the same thing on all fours. And then like sort of middle school slow dancing where you just like do this and kind of sway.
That's awesome.
Which was hard to do with this big baby in the middle. But yeah, I think those were my favorite ones. The sort of like the ones where my back was exposed so that Chris could rub it.
Yeah. That's sweet. Well, I'm so excited for you guys, and like, you know, you fall in love too, whether you're with your friend or family or your lover, like what a amazing thing to, you know, essentially you're a team. You always were a team. That's why you're here, and like you get to go in and just be a team. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm ready. I think I'm mentally prepared.
Well, I'm so glad to be chatting with you, and I look forward to the future. And I just want to thank you again for sharing your story with myself and with others. And yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, as always.
Namaste. Namaste, baby. Hi, Namaste. There is a song. It goes like this. Namaste, namaste. I love you, I love you. And this is at the end of yoga class with kids. You go, we had lots of fun today. Did some yoga and some play. Namaste. Namaste. That's for the next stages though.
Yeah.
Namaste.